Hello my friends, hello guys, this is Gosia from Cosmic Agency and we are beginning a new section of videos, and that is recaps of what happened in space, basically in space, not so much on Earth, in the last month. And these videos will be based on what Marisva shared in her space news videos in the last months. Her channel is Zvaru Oficial, but also what we have found out talking to Yazhi and Athena in the past month. Let's begin. I'm not going to go beyond what happened before July, so let's just start with that. Just to comment that about 900 new cadets are in the process of being trained for the second contact, so-called contact program that officially will begin somewhere around October, November. There is no more information about this, so that is still happening. Now, in the next piece of news, and this is important, this is what affected our friends in Toleka Sadikleya now, but also back in Taygeta, and this is the cyclone that hit Taygeta a bit earlier, a few months ago, over a month ago. These cyclones don't happen very often. That's why everybody was taken by surprise. Pretty much. It hit the Toleka island and the city, Toleka city in Temer. There was a lot of damage. Many houses were destroyed, plants and trees flown all over the place, and overall there was a lot of destruction. High Council building, for example, was badly damaged as well as a shipyard. A shipyard was actually flooded by the river, because what tornado did was open the river up there and it flooded the shipyards. More than 1,000 people were evacuated into the safe places. Now, as you know, Temer is a tropical planet. It's basically islands distributed all over the planet, very tropical. The climate is very dynamic but pretty stable, and it's super habitable. It's actually one of the most habitable planets out there. So these hurricanes, cyclones are very rare. They on average happen every 3 years, but they happen somewhere far away on some kind of an island where no one lives, or very few people, and they are very, very small. So they do have climate manipulation, I would say climate control technology that they use to prevent bad things from happening, but they use it very rarely. They actually don't like to use these technologies, as you could see from one of the videos where Mari actually was suggesting to use that technology more next time, but some of them were like, oh, okay, well, this is a bit interfering into nature. They do have this technology, but they very rarely use it. Last time such a big hurricane hit the city was 80 years ago. Okay, so that's why they were not very prepared. Even their technology was not very well prepared for that kind of hurricane that on top of it developed very fast. Mari, because this happened when Alanim was already in the medical pod where she's healing, where she went in to heal her poison damage for 3 months. The full, complete regeneration takes about 3 months. So Mari was already performing her duties as a princess queen, and she had to attend to that matter. She actually visited Taygeta in full immersion technology. So she wasn't there physically, but it's as if she was there physically. And she actually described that technology last month as well. There are about two or three, I don't remember exactly now, the videos describing the full immersion technology. So by the way, I'm not going to be recapping in this segment of videos. I'm not going to be recapping all the videos that she did last month. No, it's just going to be focused on space news. So Mari was there in full immersion technology, analyzing the damage and, trying to determine the cause. And what she discovered there, actually was something that that is probably taken for granted by the citizens of Taygeta as something obvious and natural, and that is a lot of nature around. Those cities, like we always said before in the videos, are very are located in a very natural environments, and there is trees everywhere. They are trying to interfere with nature as little as possible. So it's basically like living in a forest where those buildings are constructed and houses. Maybe just downtown area there is just few more accumulated buildings, but apart from that, people live in places where there's just so much nature everywhere. So the rescue vehicles, for example, they were trying to attend to the people who needed attendance. Their hangar doors were blocked by the fallen trees. Spaceports couldn't work because nature, the fallen trees and the damage there was blocking the way. In general, 55 families were left without home. 600 other ones were damaged, and 7 Tamarians were found dead, with 19 people missing, over 1,000 people injured. So this was quite a big event for Taygeta. Now I was thinking about it when we had the videos about why do bad things happen to good people, and this could be much more explained in a planet like Earth. But imagine being there, living in a total harmonious and peaceful planet, and having something like this happen to you so suddenly. It's going to be pretty strong and heavy inner work there among the families. And in that persons who died, souls as well, about what caused that exactly. Why did they manifest that for themselves? Very, very, very deep analysis there will have to take place within the souls of those people. And I'm not laughing. This is very serious. It's just that it's just so statistically almost unbelievable to imagine that something like this can happen to you in such a peaceful place. Mari, when she was there, she ordered to divert the climatic systems that could turn into hurricanes. So she instructed the people there that next time if they see anything like this developing, even though, like I said, this hurricane developed too fast, very fast, then she ordered those strange phenomena growing there to be hurricanes to be diverted. But as I said, not everybody was happy with those instructions because they just like to respect nature very much. But Mari doesn't agree with this because she believes nature has its place. The majority of the planet is actually just nature, so it has a lot of place there. And then where is civilization? Let's just focus on practical safety of the people who live there. For a while, I was thinking actually that this hurricane could have been fake, that could have been orchestrated. It's funny because actually it happened just around the time when I was talking about agendas and Kabbal's agendas, and one of those agendas was weather manipulation, how they can actually create hurricanes. And then shortly after, this happened. And as we know, the Federation is targeting the shady parts of the Federation. Of course, not all the layers of the Federation are targeting Taygetans, so it could have been some sort of a warning. However, they deducted that there were no indications of a foul play, that it seems like it was a natural phenomenon. However, it did coincide strangely with another hurricane that happened this time on Earth, and Mari explains that this was this was Hurricane Beryl on the Caribbeans. That was just so similar to what happened in Taygeta. 7 people were dead as well. It was actually very similar in power, in intensity. So Mari is suggesting that it could be a dimensional mirror, maybe artificial one. Not sure, but as we know, these dimensional mirrors do occur. If you are interested in what this dimensional mirroring phenomenon is, Mari has videos on this, we have videos on this, so I suggest you to explore this, as this is a very interesting, very deep, and very enigmatic, mysterious, metaphysical phenomenon. Something happens here, and something similar happens on the other side, so to speak. Very simple example, an urma falls sick, breaks a rib and gets sick, and something similar happens to one of their Urma star seeds here on Earth. So do explore this topic, as it is very interesting. Okay, someone I saw in both Spanish and English communities was asking about the shields of the rescue ships, and how is it possible that they were damaged if they had such impenetrable shields? Wow, contradictions. As you know, people are always looking around and finding these things that, in their opinion, in their perception, are pointing to the contradictions, like they are trying to get us, find some kind of a detail. Let me just tell you that in a million years, they will not be able to find anything. Because none of this is contradiction. You just have a missing piece of understanding to the whole picture. So here, for example, I asked Athena this question about why those shields didn't work in those rescue ships in Taygeta during their rescue missions, and why they were damaged in the first place. So Athena actually is saying this is very simple answers. Most of the time they are very actually simple, logical answers to these contradiction questions. She says simply this: they are not all that sophisticated. Many simply don't have shields. For what? She says. So why aren't the shields impenetrable? Because they don't have any. Some of them don't have any shields. Those rescue ships are used for the civilian use. They are not military ships. And sometimes those shields even must be off. If they do have any, they must be off in order to manipulate something. Like older models of those rescue ships, they have to have their shields off, or they don't have them don't have them at all, sorry. The reason simply is not enough tech. That's what Athena says. She says we have those shields in other crafts, but they are for military purposes. For rescue, no. Most of them are as vulnerable as a human helicopter, because there's simply no need for those shields, or as thought, she says. As thought. And she says here, this means that the rescue SAR fleet must also be renewed, as those machines are quite old. Remember, not much is happening in those planets. So I said, why didn't they send the military ones for the rescue missions? And Athena says they were not there. They simply were not there. The military craft is not just sitting there waiting for a hurricane to occur every 5 years. They have their other missions and other tasks to do. So they were not there, and by the time they arrived, it was all over, because it happened very fast. She says, there's no need for war machines in Taygeta, nothing there to fight. So they rather are sent to the perimeters of the M45 star cluster. Other tasks, other things to do. So that's pretty much it. I don't have anything more on the topic of a hurricane. So let's move on to a very, very, very fast update on Muggies. You know, those Muggies, half reptiles, half birds, very colorful. There were so many of them on the ship. There were 120 of them on the ship, and they were starting to be a nuisance. And as you know, one of them was used to poison Alanin. So they were actually transported back to Temer. 120 of them. I remember some time ago I asked Athena, okay, how about capturing them and just taking them to Temer? And she said, well, oh, Yazhi it was actually. And she said, well, it's not that hard. It's not that easy because they are actually hard to catch. So they had to come up with some kind of a plan to catch them. But finally, they were captured and transported back to Tamra, where they were released into beautiful life that they have there on Tamra. Okay, this is a very important news, and that is that this last month, Mari actually became a full, complete Taygetan queen. A very interesting turn of events, and no one knew about this, was that ARIEN actually ordered to wait High Council. She ordered High Council to wait 1 month after she went into the pod before telling everyone that she abdicated. So she actually abdicated before going to the pod, and then High Council kept it a secret. She resigned. She was very, very tired already, so it's understandable. I asked Athena here, why wait a month? Why this surprise after a month? Well, the answer here is basically to see Mari's worth, how she handles the situations, how she faces problems and crisis situations, such as, for example, this hurricane that happened. We asked about Mari, how she felt, and she was shocked. She was shocked, just as everybody else, yes, but feeling very capable and ready. In fact, she was already performing her duties. It's just that she wasn't mentally prepared. It's happening now. Now, I also asked about Kila. And as far as we know, Kila, when he found out about this, he just retreated into his room. He doesn't mingle much with a lot of people there on the ship. He just comes out to be with his closest friends. It's understandable. He's missing and worried about ARIEN, but in a way, he must feel relieved because so much pressure is off her shoulders. ARIEN was very tired before this attack that happened to her. She was already so tired, and there was so much pressure on her all the time. So it's understandable that she resigned. She found in Mari a perfect successor. Although, because Mari now is saying, I'm going to be even worse for the Federation. Good. I'm here to help join you, Mari, in that effort, for sure. And I know Robert as well. But I do wonder whether Mari might need a successor now. Just saying. I mean, ARIEN felt she was in danger, so she appointed Mari to be her successor. But what about the successor now? I don't know if it's even if they are even thinking that way. I don't think though that another attack would happen and that it would happen so fast. Even if it did happen, I don't think they would have guts to do it again because that would be, if the first attack wasn't, which it was, that would be a total declaration of war, basically, against Taygeta, and who knows what kind of repercussions and actions Taygeta would have to take against the culprits, against those who did it. So I don't think that the attack on Mari would be happening. I don't think they would do it twice. However, I don't know. Let's not think about this too much. ARIEN continues to be the ambassador of the Alcyone Council to the Galactic Federation, even though Mari is performing that role right now. But when ARIEN wakes up, we'll see if she wants to continue with that role of the ambassador of the Alcyone Council to the Galactic Federation. Something I did not ask, I didn't have a chance to ask them. This week they were super busy because they are moving to the new ship, Sadikleia. So no one is online this week. But, it was mentioned in one of the groups, and it's a good point, that, there is this time slip between Taygeta and Earth. So when ARIEN gets shipped gets transferred, I'll get to that news a bit later on, to Taygeta in her pod, and she wakes up, this is going to be a much different time now. 4.5 days here on Earth, that's only 1 day in Taygeta. So 1 month here, I'm not very good with math, 1 month here, well, that's about 8 days. I don't know. I'm so bad with mathematics. 1 month here, that's about 8 days there. I don't know, something like that. So let's see how that works out with Alanim that has to be in the pot still until her 3 months is up. As far as we know, Queen Alanim is stable and recovering, and the investigation concluded about who was behind the attack against her. And the investigations that were happening for a few weeks or so, or more so, led to one exact laboratory, which is found in the Galactic Federation headquarters. In the Galactic Federation headquarters that control this solar system and is found on the biosphere, one of the biosphere ships orbiting Saturn. So it's not in Viera, okay? Viera is the local Galactic Federation ship to do with Earth affairs, but this lab was found in one of the biosphere ships orbiting Saturn. So who is responsible is the galactic representatives quadrant level. So it goes all the way up, and they have evidence. They have presented evidence to the local Galactic Federation in Viera, together with the formal complaint from their council and the URMA council. And as far as I understand, the evidence was provided by the URMA. That's what I understood from one of the videos. I couldn't confirm this with the team yet. So I'm going to get to this a bit later, to the Federation affairs, but let's conclude this piece of news. And the next one is Goriel, Captain Goriel, from the ship Alcyone, the huge ship, and the 2 Federation meetings, as of now that I'm recording, 2 Federation meetings that happened that Captain Goriel with 4 of his assistants attended. The first meeting happened on the 29th of June, and more meetings are to come every second Saturday. And the objective of these meetings is to explain to the races that attend, even though, as you will see, very few races are attending, to explain to the races the situation on Earth. Why the situation on Earth must be the way it is, why it should be the way it is, and why Earth must continue to be isolated from the rest of the out of Earth reality. The fact that they are organizing these meetings is good in itself, even though what's happening in those meetings is totally useless, but why these meetings are happening is a good sign. That means that they are aware that more and more races are actually questioning and asking themselves what's happening and becoming aware and going through some kind of transformation. Let me tell you that this transformation among the races, even though it's kind of maybe slow, but you never know how it's going to develop. Slow and not so slow, depending on how you look at this. About, I don't know, 4 years ago or something like that, we made this video. I think it was with Svaruoferra or with Yazhi. It was that time where they were already kind of like merging into one, so to speak. I made this video where we are explaining the revolution happening in the 5D, revolution in 5D, and how they are explaining here, Svaruoferra and Yazhi, how there's this flux of starseeds coming from beyond so-called 5D, higher realms, infiltrating in the Federation. Mutiny in the 5D Federation, that actually Svaruoferra and Yazhi and Mari, of course, now, and many others, also among other races, are influencing the Federation from higher levels of the Federation, because the Federation levels extend into other densities. They just operate in a different way there. So this revolution has been ongoing for quite a while, and the stir has been going on for quite a while. I'm just going to remind you that Svarova Ferra we made a video with her addressing the Federation also about 5 years ago or so. It's actually only in text in the English channel. I made this into a Spanish video because I don't know what happened, but it's only as a text. She addresses the Federation, not only the Federation but the Federation as well, and she also explained to us, and it was a fact at that time, that she removed herself from the Galactic Federation. She removed herself officially as belonging to the Galactic Federation. So she no longer was under the jurisdiction of the Galactic Federation. Galactic Federation did not like her at all. It disproved many of her ways. So she was one of the first ones there that were stirring up things with the Federation. And then she started working closely with ARIEN, who also became a strong force against the Federation. And Svarova Erra for a while was operating as a kind of a force behind ARIEN. They were working together. It's kind of like her advisor. I remember those words were used, like a force behind the leader meaning ARIEN. And ARIEN was very important element here in the process of making other races question what's happening in the Galactic Federation. She did a lot of work and probably will continue to do so with regards to that. This was not something seen in the videos because she was not producing videos for the public or giving us material, but she was working on that side of things. And that side of things was very, very, very important, is very important. She was key element in making those exopolitical situations evolve in a way that would make those races aware of the problem here on Earth. And now Mari says she wants to bother them more, bother the Federation more. Good. And remember, she's queen number 72, that is a very important number, very metaphysically essential number, also for Charistus. Okay, let's go to the Goriel's report, because Captain Goriel, captain of the Alcyone ship, has attended 2 of those meetings. He went there with 4 of his assistants, and he is one of the veteran captains, very, 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 very skilled. What he informed us, everybody, was that when they got there, everybody was separated. So the Galactic Federation did the separation by races. All the Taygetans together, Alphatans together, etc. And, in those meetings, they were just introductory meetings, supposedly. And the races were explained that they should always go to the Federation's sources for information, that they shouldn't come up with any conspiracies or be coming up with their own theories about what's happening. Only we, the Federation, have the accurate information about what's happening and why. Kind of like what's happening with the government, here on Earth. That's why they are kind of like shooting themselves in the foot with these statements, because they are revealing who they are. I mean, this is exactly how it works here with the problem of papaya. Also, only their version is the official one, is the correct one, so don't look anywhere else. So you see, the same censorship happens up there as well. The Federation, according to them, should be united. Yeah, just like here, only listen to one version of what's happening with the papayas. Nothing else is correct. And of course, they were continuing to explain to the attendees that souls go there for learning to Earth. So the Earth should be contained because, if we release it, then the souls lose its realm where they can have this amazing learning. And another reason to contain the Earth is to avoid spreading people's on Earth violent nature. And they took that's the cherry on the cake here. They started showing the attendees war images and videos, spreading the propaganda about how violent and nasty basically humans on Earth are. Again, blaming humans for everything to justify their own action, causing fear. It's the same as happens here on Earth. When you turn on the media, it's just wars and disasters and fires and murders. This is just so horrible. Be afraid. Be afraid to come out of the street. So they are trying to make other races afraid of us humans, spreading this idea that we are so violent. And Mari says this is basically a treason to the humanity, showing those images and explaining the human predicament in that one-sided way. Because as you all know, this is so not true that this is how we are. The most people here, and we know this, they are just beautiful people, peaceful, they want to be happy, they want to just be content, they want to fulfill their dreams, they want to create and have fun and just be left alone. That's how most humans here are, and we are harmonious, we are helping each other in times of need. How many videos I could come and show you also, and we have the recollections of those videos. You can find them yourself on YouTube or anywhere else, how people come together, how they help in times of needs. Of course, there are assholes everywhere, but those are few comparing to the masses of the beautiful, harmonious people that inhabit this planet. And in fact, those that are nasty, they are probably not even real people. They are just some kind of infested parasites that are operating through those humans. The wars are or have been and are generated and created, fabricated, because they are mostly just fabrications by the few. And those few, again, they are probably infested by entities remotely controlled by by the beings who are drawn to this realm, precisely because of its isolation and self-perpetuating suffering. Why aren't they drawn to your planets or to your to Taygetan planets? Because there's no isolation there, so the spirituality flows among the planets, among the races. There's a higher frequency being collectively generated by the interstellar existence there. And here, because of the isolation where there is suffering, and we are perpetuating that suffering within this contained realm over and over again, that's why these entities here are drawn to this to this place, especially knowing that here in this place they are not going to receive any real help from the outside. So it's a free reign. It's a free reign for all these beings and nasty entities that are coming, and they have a free space to roam and abuse people and exploit them, because they know that the Federation will do nothing, because the Federation will just say, no, this is what the souls want. They want to be abused and exploited. Yeah. So the entities are just having happy time here. So there's definitely, as you know, something very, very wrong with this picture. I believe with our videos, the videos that we are making, that Mari is making, everybody here, we are trying to overlap realities. We are trying to remove that isolation. We are trying to shift people's perception, expand what's possible, so then they can manifest a non-isolated realm. That's what I believe our videos serve. Even the videos where people say, this is not really useful for me in any way. Well, it is, because it is shifting you into other realm, into other realities, into what's possible. You don't have to understand how the ships work, but just accepting them into your reality, integrating that into you, that is manifesting. You are then manifesting, overlapping that reality with yours and manifesting that reality. So it is very important. Now, you might think, why am I talking like this? Like, I don't seem much moved by this whole Federation affair. Yeah, you know, I am not. I'll explain why. This has been going on for a while, okay? We know already how the Federation works and things. This is not shocking to me. I'm kind of even a bit tired, even though I'm not gonna stop, of course, and I want to bother them, of course, even more, and the cabal and all that. But it's not shocking to me what happened there in the Federation meetings. In fact, 5 years ago, when we were talking about the Federation with Svaru Verra, I remember very specifically that I asked her, Svaru, I was so naive then still, is the Federation happy with my work, like with our work? Are they proud? Are they happy? Because I still imagined that they are this, liberating force, and they must be very proud and happy with what we are doing. And I remember Svaru said, no, they are not happy at all. And that was a shock to me. And then the next shocking moment was when actually, also that was a video that we made, Alanim came, Laishara, Al Neka, and we had this council where they were exposing the Federation to us in that detail for the first time. And that was also a shocking moment to me, where I actually made a reaction video, and this is the reaction video. It's my own contemplation about the Federation. People asked me what was like the most shocking moment in this whole disclosure. That was one of the most shocking moments for me. So I'm used to all this. This is not I'm not surprised. Mari explains, here on Earth everything pretty much is satanic. It's satanic agendas, and it has to do with satisfying entities. It does have to do with satisfying those entities that, as I said above, are drawn to this realm, among other reasons because of its isolation. It's a demonic realm. And of course you can make it a paradise if you know how, but basically it is a place where demonic forces are dwelling and drawn to. That's why Mari states, if the Federation justifies their actions, their regressive actions, it has to do something with that. There's no excuse to be supporting these demonic activities. They cannot be just supporting this. If they are, then they have to have something to do with that. So Mari explains that it's probably have to do with the forces out there that are using Galactic Federation as its control mechanisms over stellar races, including Earth. So the Federation, the major levels of this may not even know or be aware of this, but they are being used. They are being used by other forces that are using them, the Galactic Federation, as a structure, as a mechanism of control against other stellar races and against Earth. That was the statement that Mari actually presented in one of her videos. Of course, and that's a very important point as well, let's not generalize. This is super important. It's not black and white. It's not, it's all Federation is evil. I'm actually the first one that always says, it's not just Federation is evil. It's just certain forces within the Federation or forces that are manipulating the Federation that are using it for evil, let's call it that way, purposes. But the Federation is very complex, and we cannot be falling into that stereotyping mechanism as the Federation does themselves. When they say humanity is evil, humanity is violent. So the same way, we cannot act like this or portray the Federation in the same black and white manner. The Federation is evil, the Federation is violent. The Federation is too complex of a structure to be catalogued in one way or another. We are trying to analyze what's happening, but we cannot just put them all in the same basket, because there are a lot of Federation members, such as even Taygetas themselves, that are members and beautiful races. There was a question that I actually asked Athena here about these meetings and the Federation headquarters and how the races were separated and during those meetings. So I asked, and I know this was a question from you as well, many of you asked this, why can't the races just organize themselves? Why can't they come up and on their own and come up with their own meeting and discuss ideas, share strategies? So it seems like some of this already is happening. It is happening. But I suggested, races like Sasani, Urmas, all the other races that were not even at the meetings, or maybe not even our federation, other positive races. And Athena says, yes, it seems that it's happening. Mari is already talking to her Antarian counterpart. So they will be making some talks. But it's in the preparation only, not yet knowing when this will start. And for sure, when it does, Mari is going to say something about that. And those other races that I mentioned, Athena says, yes, they may be invited, but it may not be as simple as it may be problematic. So she says, it may be problematic, but we are seeing to that. So I asked her, what does she mean, problematic? Which races are problematic? It's not so much about the races being problematic, it's about their mutual interactions that might result in problematic situations. All of them, basically, she said. Because she says, you cannot sit an Orma next to the avian, or they might fight. Both of them being positive, but because they have slight disagreements among them, and they are both strong races and determined and independent. So, they are people, she says, Athena, they are people, they will fight, they will have different ideas about things, and both of them being positive. So I said, well, they have to figure it out, okay? Just because they have slight disagreements or even bigger disagreements on certain issues, let the issue in common be their cause. If they have the one issue they agree on, the federation, and how to deal with the federation, let that unite them. Let them disagree. Let them agree to disagree on other points that are not relevant, but they should feel united here and have that mutual cause be a unifying force. Because otherwise, if they don't get together and agree on things, well, then this doesn't paint a very good picture, right, for the future of anything. If they want to solve this somehow and move the situation with the Federation ahead, they must unite. Just like it is said about humans, that we must unite and fight together and be on the same side, despite our differences. It's the same has to happen among those races. You must unite. Forget about all the other differences. It's not important. Just agree on major points. Agree on major points and move forward. Otherwise, the situation will not advance. And Athena was actually talking to me about this. And as she was talking to me about this, then she was distracted. And this is when this flooding happened. And Mari talked about this as well, that the main pipe broke and there was flooding everywhere. So this happened, actually, we were talking with Athena and she says, sorry, we are flooding here, bad leak. The stairs are a waterfall. Main pipe broke badly. And by the way, or here I'm asking, why don't you move for once? Because I've been suggesting this for months already, like move to another ship. And she says, Mari is on that. It looks like we will. This deck is flooding and I must put something under my door or it will come in here as well. That was just happening when she was talking to me. And she said about Yazhi, Yazhi is euphoric and all wet, by the way. So as you can imagine, Yazhi was having fun splashing around. Of course, not responsible for cleaning or anything. So she was just having fun with this. Now, about moving to Sadikleia, and this is the next piece of news, this is the last piece of news. Actually, Taygeta is retiring. Taygeta, built in 1935, Earth years. This was the same ship on which actually Billy Mayer's operation was happening. So a lot of things, a lot of situations happened through this ship. Actually, 6 months ago already, because this has been going on for a long time about Taygeta being badly, damaged here, needing repairs there. I was talking to Athena about this for months. Like, why don't you just move? I would just order to move if it was me. And I remember she said, well, because they are very attached to Taygeta, that's one thing. Very attached, they see it as their home, they have been here basically all their time here in the orbit, and because it's a lot of pain in the butt to move. A lot of things have to be moved and dismantled, and they just didn't feel like it. They were rather focusing on repairs, and a lot of things were always needing repairs. engineering problems, for example, in the last year, I think, that something was happening, no one knew what, and they were all trying to solve the puzzle. And I was suggesting maybe even like, okay, take the move temporarily, leave major stuff in Toleka and move it to Temer for repairs, and then Toleka will come back, so you don't have to take everything out of there. And she said that they were worried that Toleka wouldn't make it, because it was so damaged at the time that, going through the supralunar hyperspace flight, it actually takes a lot of power. The engines and the whole ship just needs to be very well prepared for that. So it was too damaged at the time, so they didn't want to risk that. That's why Saska maintenance ship came here and provided maintenance from here. But anyway, finally the decision was made, moving to Sadikleya. Mari moved just yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't know what day we have today, on the 29th of July. This is where Mari moved. This is a brand new, squeaky new, as Mari says, Toleka 2 class enhanced heavy cruiser. It was built as a royal yacht and a new flagship for the Taygetan fleet. Is the same as Toleka, just a bit wider and white. As you know, white is associated with royalty there in space. Mari announced she's not going to dye her hair white, but her ship is white. So that's pretty much it. What does it mean, Sadikleya? Actually, Mari explained this in her video she just published today about Sadikleya. But to explain this again, okay, Taygeta is a binary star in the Pleiades cluster. Binary, it means it has two stars. So Taygeta, it has accompanying star. So her accompanying star is Sadikleya, which means midnight sun in the Taygetan language. Generally, binary star system, it's a star system that is composed of two stars that mutually orbit around a common center of mass. I'm reading this. This is from my notes that I took. So Taygeta is a binary system. According to human science, it is a white dwarf. It means, like I said, midnight sun, but is not counted among the 9 stars of M45. It is there simply and serves as a moon for wildlife. Because Taygeta doesn't have natural moons, only artificial space stations. But Sadikleya serves as a sort of moon. It illuminates the nights of the planets of Taygeta, just like the moon, our moon does with the Earth, affecting also the rhythms and life cycles of all animals and plants. And it is seen as blue light. So at night it illuminates the whole sky. It's nicely lit and blue. So that's what Sadikleya is. Thank you very much. There is so much more covered in Mari's videos about different topics. All of these topics are actually explained in much more detail. So go to her channel, Svaro Oficial, and check it out, where she explains all these events much more thoroughly. So welcome Sadikleya again, and happy move, happy new days on a new ship. Some people might feel sad. I don't really feel sad. I am not. I am very easy when it comes to moving and changing places and leaving older places behind. No problem at all for me. I don't get attached much to places, to homes. To be honest, not even to people. I'm talking like people on Earth, family, friends. I can very easily move, and I'm not going to be sad about leaving people behind. It's just the way I am. So it's great. A new phase, new ship. Congratulations, Mari. Enjoy your new brand new squeaky ship. Oh my God, not ship. And let's see what happens in the next month. This month of August. These videos are going to happen once a month, so next one you'll receive and at the beginning of September. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and keep enjoying your lives. Bye bye everybody, happy summer.